You are part of an improv group.
Yes.
Here in Branson, and I tried to be part of the improv group.
No, you are a part. Like your name, every time we meet, it's like, we talk about it, like you can jump in and we keep it all like the group. Like
I want to do it.
Yeah.
But the problem with improv is that I have to plan way ahead of time for it.
Yeah, it takes a lot of planning just to have time to do something that you didn't plan on doing.
I know, and my wife laughs about it, but the meetings, when you guys get together, are on my one day off, like kind of in the middle of the day, and it's the one day I can see the kids because they're in school.
Yeah.
And so I came to the one meeting, and then the next week I was on my way there, and I felt so bad because my wife called me and the kids were crying because I was leaving, and I'm like, okay, I have to make a decision. Yeah. But it's you, and you got James Sibley, who is over at
Pierce Arrow.
Mm-hmm. He plays
James Sibley. And Gene Poole is his comedic character. He's a comedian over there, fantastic. Travels around the country. He's wrote for Saturday Night Live. He was an actor on like My Name Is Earl, and just really, really funny.
And a
great
super
guy.
Nice guy.
Yes, he is. The
nicest.
nicest.
You're supposed to sit down and do some of these.
He's the nicest.
So you're with him, and you're with
Tony Turner.
Tony, who cracks me up.
Yeah. And Jacob and Lauren and Rusty and Renee. Renee Michaels does the Branson Bites. Have you seen any of that where she talks about food? I did one of those with her, and she's in there, and she does a lot of the guys, Rusty and Jacob and her, do the murder mystery that's over at the White House Theater.
Have you seen it?
I have not been there because it's at 5, and I get off at 5, and so to make it's a dinner show, and I told them I really want to go, but it's going to be a little bit better. They're moving to the Majestic, I think, this next year. I don't know if that's out public knowledge, but anyway.
We're not showing this till next year, so
okay.
So, but you guys get together on Sunday, and you play games, or exercise, I don't know what you're calling it, and it was a lot of fun. I had a great time when I did it and stuff. I'm like, this is the thing, because I used to be part of an improv group.
Oh my gosh, you were brilliant that day. It was very funny.
Really?
We got caught up in the IROC. Remember the IROC?
Yeah.
And you're like, what's an IROC? And it was just where we were raised, whether or not that was a phrase. And it's a Camaro Z28, but it was. I just loved it. We had a lot of fun that day.
Fun.
And there were some great little moments. And we had a meeting the other night, just kind of get together to talk about the show and how it went.
That's what I wanted to say. You guys had a show.
December the 11th.
Yeah.
We kind of worked toward having a show, and that was going to be our big test run to have the production to see how it went. I ended up hosting Joey ILO as part of the group, and he's in town. He ended up being sick, so it was he and I were going to co-host, but we went together. And when he got sick, I jumped in, and so I hosted a little bit, pitched some to Tony and James, because some of the descriptions of the games, I was like, you need to explain how this works.
Yeah.
And then I got to jump in a few games, and then we all got to play and have a good time. It was about 2 hours.
Did you get a lot of people?
We had about 75 or 80.
Yeah, they're all out there eating chips and
you know what? You know what they were eating? Mike, that sells tickets in town, he brought chocolate-covered Cheetos.
Oh.
And let me say...
There's a lot happening.
Okay, hang on. Don't go ooh. Because when you put it in your mouth, it's so good. It's so good. But anyway, don't knock it till you try it. But that guy's fantastic. He does a lot of ticket sales in town. A great friend. He's gonna end up helping us in 2017 with the improv troupe and kind of helping us get everything. But we're the Branson Improv Total Comedy Hour.
Okay, so you had the show, and then you started to say you had a meeting.
We had a meeting after that to kind of talk about how well it went, and we were all impressed with how we stuck. Everything went great. The ideas people were pitching out of the audience were hilarious.
Were they good?
They were good, because sometimes you're in a danger zone.
Yeah, because I heard there's a show that they have on the weekends here. They recorded at Grand Country. Have you been there?
Yes.
And I think they do it like on Friday nights.
Yeah, Branson Country, USA.
Oh, is that the name?
Have you ever seen it? I've seen it. I've seen every episode probably at least twice or 3 times because I edit all those shows.
Oh, okay.
I have to,
but I watched
get them ready.
I watched the appearance of James on there.
Yes.
Or I listened to it, I got to say. And it sounded like he was having a little rough time because the audience, not that he was having a rough time, but they weren't being overly creative with their...
Sometimes
some people,
people
take it literally, right?
I think they do, and like we were talking about that, and we did do a little premise, a little setup at the beginning of the show. We said, hey, I'm going to the grocery store. I want to make a sandwich. I want to make a bacon lettuce.
But here people would say tomato. And you're like, no.
And we told them, we said, hey, don't say tomato, say bacon, lettuce, and the one, foot cream. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. And,
See, okay. Because when I heard it, I'm like, no, I don't think they're getting it. They're trying to win at it or trying to give the correct answer.
Yeah, they're trying to do that. And, but he ended up getting some funny stuff. And he was able to steer it, I think, to kind of pick. Because you can pick, because people are hollering out ideas, so you can pick. Because people are hollering out some crazy stuff.
So back to the improv group. Yeah. So you had the meeting. So what are the plans for next year?
The plans right now, everything's up in the air, but we're thinking of trying to push forward with getting a theater and a regular place, and they are in discussions right now with a location. And talking to people and getting us lined up. And it's kind of Tony and James we've been really blessed that they've kind of taken some of the kind of the guiding force behind this, because I really look to them because they've done it a long time and they've been around it, and I just enjoy having a good time. And I really like somebody that creates the framework, then I can hang off the side of that and just be silly and have a good time.
Hit you onto that star and.
Well, and not even, I'm not looking to write it anywhere, but it's okay as long as we're going around, because it's not about the money, and you know that. If you go after money, it can buy happiness. They say you can't, but
you can rent it.
You can rent it, and a long time. But you really got to do it because you love it, and that's why I do the improv. And you're right, it is a hard day doing that Sunday, because you're not with the kids and that's your only day off, and it was my kind of battle too, because there were certain weekends I couldn't do it.
I wish we had it in the morning, or if they had it even in the evening, but it's
late
like
at night,
4 o'clock
like
or
after our
3
show.
or 4 o'clock.
Yeah, we were meeting at one time. We moved it to 5, I think, and we did go a little earlier. And we had the show at 2, and it was 2 to 4 that day, and had a great time. And the funny thing was, we didn't have any product to sell for intermission, so we had an intermission, kind of a break, and we had a rummage sale. So Tony had like a stove. What do you call those? Drop-in, like a counter stove that he bought for his house, but it didn't fit. So he had a brand new one, $600-$700. He brought it in. He was going to take whatever somebody offered him. They had a crock pot. There were people with old books. It was an improv product sale, and it was all rummage. Like, I brought in some lights from the pet show. And
that'd be awesome. I can think of some things like that.
Some funny stuff. And so we're all sitting there. We got to visit, and it was more of a talking point getting to visit with the great. And they sold some stuff. The kids were bringing in stuffed animals. Tony's kids were there, AJ and Savannah. They're part of our group, and they actually did a number all by themselves. So Tony had the kids do their own line story by themselves, and they got up and they really knocked it out of the park. We had a good.
I want to do it.
I know, and here's the great thing is the tentative plan is, because we ended up with a host, and the host has to do some bits in the show. They want to do that next year. So what the idea would be maybe you host.
I would do that.
You host, and then you do a bit in the middle, but you have to do something you normally don't do in your show, which you have a lot of material that you don't use. So you get out there, you do a bit, and then maybe a special guest from your show, whoever you can have drop in, they get to come up there and perform as well, and we get to just have some fun.
Sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
That way, we're all having fun, and we're all not, the show. It's just it's more organic, I think. Yeah. And every month or however often we do it, there's a new face, or here's somebody new that adds a little spice to the group.
You used to do that on Whose Line Is It and stuff. They'd have like somebody they'd rotate in and that sort of thing.
And I think that's where they're looking to the future and trying to do that. And I thought it was a great idea.
So if people want to get information, is there a Facebook page yet?
There's a Facebook page, and it's the Branson Improv Total Comedy Hour. And you can look on Facebook, and you'll see our picture of the group. And message us, let us know. And then also James Sibley has his own Facebook page, and Tony Turner, and of course Shannon Thomas and myself, and Renee Michaels, and Lauren, and I forgot Lauren's last name. And then Rusty, everybody's got their own.
I'll put the link and stuff.
So absolutely. So get on there, check us out on Facebook, and come see a show next year.
Well, there you go.
Or come be a part of the group. Like, come jump
You
in.
get to participate in the show. You don't just see the show, you will be the show.
Yes,
That's my tagline.
you are the show. That's it. Would you trademark that?
TM.
Yeah, TM.